If you're looking to make solar simple, give Ron Domenico with AD Energy a call. All-day energy made simple. Solar solutions with zero down, options to lease or finance, and roofs and trees are no issue. Call Ron Domenico at 609-226-2802 and tell him you saw him on the Sports Box.
Well, hello again, and welcome to the show that would probably never get confused with Grey's Anatomy. This is the Sports Box, where the only opinion that matters. It's right here. I am Mike Galetta, a.k.a. Hamilton Mike, along with my partner, Brian, the Ranger of Tard. Brian, how are you? I'm back.
Not a lot of bounce on that. I can tell it's been a little...
I was a little ticked off, so.
Yeah.
If anybody knows, I'm back from my little work escapade out in the Midwest, in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Very nice out there. Actually warmer there than it was in New Jersey, so that's...
This weather's stupid.
Yeah, so what are you going to do? So anyway, we got it going on today. We were going to talk about the Western Final going on. There's Anaheim Ducks and the Nashville Predators. And here's the Predators come into this, we were talking back and forth. I think we picked against them both times.
I think we have.
Yeah, I think we have. And here's a team just running on adrenaline right now. You got a guy like Mike Fisher who hasn't had any kind of points in 12 games, but as a captain of that team, he's on fire right now leading this team. Mm-hmm. And then you got the Anaheim Ducks who come in and beat an Edmonton team who you thought was really hot.
Yeah.
And they were playing well, Edmonton. Fast team, Cam Talbot playing good in goal, and Anaheim moves on. This is, I think it's a hell of a matchup, Brian.
Well, the funny thing how both teams got here, Nashville had the very hard matchup in the first that they made look very, very easy, sweeping the Blackhawks.
Wait, the Blackhawks aren't in?
The Blackhawks weren't in now. Oh. They actually didn't win a game in the whole thing.
Okay, sorry.
And you look at what, and obviously they had a little more trouble with St. Louis, but it wasn't really much of it, and they got that through 6 games.
Yeah.
We had said coming into the Anaheim-Edmonton series that I had felt that it was going to go to Game 7, Anaheim would win it. I felt Edmonton had to win it in 6.
Yeah.
Really tough series, and Edmonton came out in Game 6 very, very hard, really put the beat down on the Ducks. But the Ducks won that Game 7 at home, which I think it forebodes quite a bit about this upcoming series. So
I think they wore Edmonton down in that series at Anaheim.
Edmonton came out hard in Game 6. They really put everything out there.
But the 2 games before that, they got worn down big time. So I think that's where I said the experience of Anaheim might come through, and it did to a little point. But
now you talk about Anaheim's experience. I think what really says a lot about this series, Anaheim's season the last 4 years ended in a Game 7 loss.
Yep.
So the fact that they were able to get a Game 7 win this time around and advance past Edmonton, I think bodes really well.
Yep.
So you look at these two teams, and again, you look at what Nashville was able to do in the regular season, I really think that they remind me so much of the LA Kings of 2012, team that was like the lowest seed coming in that just turned on at the right time.
Yeah.
Because again, as I've said, Nashville lost more games than they won in the regular season. If you really look at it that way. Mm-hmm. Pretty much middle of the road team in the season, but they've been great in the playoffs. Anaheim has continued to win. Again, Edmonton took them the distance, but they were able to get through. But Anaheim didn't really have issues scoring in the playoffs. You would think that they might, but not so much. It should be a pretty interesting series.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a knockdown, drag-out battle again, because Nashville, although they have a lot of speed, Anaheim's going to have to slow the play down a little bit and catch them and hit them, because that's what they did in that last Edmonton series.
Team,
They beat the crap out of Edmonton in the board-wise. You look at the penalty kill and you look at the power play.
Yep.
Anaheim's 4th on the power kill, and Nashville's 15th. And then you got the power play; they're both pretty similar. That bodes well for Anaheim. I think if they can slow down Nashville on the power play. I don't think it's going to be decided by the power play, but I think, like you said, Anaheim doesn't have a problem scoring. They'll just wear you down and get back in the games. Although the Predators, Pecorine, like I said in the beginning of the series, I think Pecorine has to really play well. And Gibson, not for anything, Gibson you haven't really heard about. He's not really that flashy goaltender out there, but he's been playing well, Gibson. He's really keeping him in games.
No, I would venture to say that no matter what happens here the rest of the way, that the best offensive team that Gibson will play, he just played last round.
Yep.
So, regardless of what happens here, I think that was their biggest test, and they got through it. You take a look at some of the scoring here. For Anaheim, they're very reliant on a couple of guys, Richard Rakell and Patrick Eaves, who was traded here from Dallas.
Yep.
They're the only 2 guys that got above 30 goals. You look at what is able to be done in Nashville. You take a look at Nashville, and I'm gonna hit you a little bit in the heartstrings here. Peter Laviolette, huh?
Yeah. What a surprise! Flyers get rid of another coach. What a surprise!
They couldn't wait to get him out of Philadelphia, right?
Yeah, because it was his fault.
Right.
It was his fault they were losing.
Yeah. So He was never the problem in Philly. But again, that's a nice balanced offense there. Arvidsson had a really great year this year. Forsberg's the guy who they just stole out of Washington.
Yeah.
This is probably, to me, as close of a series as there has been in this playoffs, which is funny about that because, again, Nashville barely got in, Anaheim won their division.
Yeah.
But the way things are kind of playing themselves out, I think they're two very, very evenly matched teams.
Yep.
As far as making a pick here, Mike, I'm going to say it's going to go 7 games for sure.
Yeah.
And I'm going to say that the fact that Anaheim won that Game 7, I think bodes well. They find a way to win another Game 7. I think your Anaheim Ducks come out of the Western Conference. And again, I picked against Nashville 3 straight rounds now. I mean, at some point, I guess I have to be right, or else I'm going to win the Stanley Cup. It's not really a shot against Nashville. Again, I didn't think Nashville would beat Chicago. Listen, mea culpa. I don't think anybody else did either.
Yeah.
I thought St. Louis would finally break through. They didn't. In this case, though, Anaheim's been here and done that before. What I do love about Nashville, though, is their top 4 defense. Their top 4 defense are the best in the league.
Yeah.
And you can tell. Everything comes through there. We talked about that Weber-Subban trade. And
I was going to bring that up. I said Weber was a better deal in that thing, but it looks like right now, Montreal didn't even get to the first round. Here's PK Subban in the finals. Good for Nashville. They're in there. They've made strides with that team. I think I'm on the side with you though. In the 7-game series, I think Anaheim can get this done just because they're not a speed flying team like the Edmonton Oilers or anybody with a lot of speed. They're just a grind out. Go to the net, tip the puck, make it happen team. With Getzlaf, if you watch some of the games of Anaheim, Getzlaf's just burying people into the corners. And he's the kind of captain that'll step up and make a team get on his back and carry them. You got Ryan Kessler there, came over from Vancouver a bunch of years ago. Like we said, Patrick Eves. You got some guys here that can put the puck in the net. They're just a slow, methodic team. But I, too, am picking Anaheim in 7 games. I think the Predators are a hell of a team, and it's a really tough decision for me because, believe it or not, I was going to take the Preds because I love Pekka. But I just think this roller coaster ride they've had and this firepower offense they've been having and just great play, I think it's going to come to not an abrupt halt, but it's going to slow down here.
We talk about windows closing, Mike. I think when we do our post-mortem on Washington at some point, talk about a window getting shut down. You look at the way Anaheim's kind of structured here. Outside of their big main guys, a lot of this team, the next year or two is going to be up for new deals. You got to wonder how many chances they're going to have.
Yeah.
They've gotten very far. Repeatedly, and not gotten over the hump. I just think at some point the team's too good. Give me Anaheim and 7.
Yeah, I agree. I totally agree. That's a rarity that we both agree on something. But that's
that must mean you might be right soon.
You know what? I was 3 out of 4 last time, so I don't want to hear shit. Anyway, thank you for watching. We really appreciate it. We always have good stuff coming, and always you can get us on social media.
And you know that we're everywhere. And by now, I'm just preaching to the choir here. But you know what? If you're one of the 2 people that found the show today, you know what? How you doing? I'm Brian. Here's Mike. Welcome to the Sports Box.
Hi.
Make sure you follow us on Twitter at Sports Box Show, on Facebook at Sports Box Show, and of course this YouTube channel. We see our subscriber numbers keep creeping up there. Definitely appreciate you subscribing. So whenever we have our fresh content, you get this nice sweet alert saying, "Hey, go watch the Sports Box."
Yeah, we've done almost 400 episodes now. If you haven't found us by now, what the hell? You must have lived in a cave or something. But anyway, thank you for watching. We appreciate it. We're always going to have good stuff coming. Check out our Eastern Final. We'll have great content on that. We're going to talk about the Rangers. Oh, wait a minute. They're out. I'm sorry. Anyway, thanks for watching. See you.
This episode of the Sports Box is brought to you by Mic'd Up Entertainment and DJ Mike Velardi. For all of your event planning needs, make sure you contact Mike at 609-864-5925 and tell him that you saw him on the Sports Box.
1, 2, 3.
Don't forget to subscribe.